We go. I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to find ourselves present again, participating in our process of alignment. Hey, Pedro, you've been number one 2 days in a row now, dude. Or do that. Friend, thank you for joining me again. How are you doing today? Today's stream topic is a question to all of us, not one that I know if we'll have necessarily a clear answer for, but it goes, how long can you stay out of alignment? Right? It was inspired, is inspired by sleep, of all things. You friends have heard me talk about sleep quite a bit. I am streaming in the mornings these days, so that definitely does influence me a little bit. But I was thinking about my childhood self in bed this morning and how I used to try these awkward positions, right? I would like get three pillows and then have a pillow over my arm and then a pillow between my legs, and I would like be all contorted up around the pillows, and I would think myself comfortable. I'd be like, yeah, this is nice. I could sleep like this. And then I would try. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour if I'm lucky. I would start feeling pain. It would cause me discomfort to the point where my body would let me know, okay, stop. Stop being unaligned. And I would have to recorrect myself and lay straight bodied so that I can stop being uncomfortable. And it made me think that if something as simple as the way in which your body lays, right, can cause you physical, literal pain, how much more so do the psychological aspects of our existence, right? If you are unaligned in your psychological experience, in your mental experience, in your spiritual experience, what pain does that cause the person? And that's what I want to discuss today. We'll be dancing a little bit later. I am drinking really strong coffee. Our coffee beans were done, and there wasn't enough beans in the bag to make coffee for tomorrow. But I already had added the amount of beans that we needed for coffee today. And then I added all of the beans that wasn't enough for 2 coffees tomorrow to all of the coffees we had today. So I'm going to get very caffeinated, and then I'm going to dance. I look forward to it. Sharing the love, that's the funny thing. I respect one and each other. And you did it around my sister time, speaking your truth. What I saw previously in you, I recognize. Thank you, Pedro. Remember that what you see in me, what you recognize in me is but a reflection of you too, right? There is no separation in that way. Can I get that too? I'm going to the emergency, meaning I will get checked out, been through a change, and in poco tiempo. I hope that this change is a good one. I hope that this change brings you new experiences that you otherwise could not have had. I hope you feel loved enough to know that change is not dangerous. Thank you, Pedro, for joining us today, dear friend. It is a pleasure getting to change here alongside you. I got the tail end of that. Elaborate so I can infer what the topic is. I'll happily share again. Today's topic was inspired by misaligned sleeping. When I was a kid, I would put myself in these awkward positions, thinking that I'm comfortable in them, right? I'm thinking specifically about a moment when we had just moved to our new home. Uh, we moved to a farm, and the boxes that we had all of our stuff in was stacked up against the wall, and it created this like divot. And I thought to myself, that looks like it could be a comfortable place to sleep. And I gathered a bunch of blankets and I put all of those blankets down there. But it was like, boxes stacked like this and then boxes stacked like that. And then I laid, curled up with my head heightened in between those boxes. And it didn't take me an hour to be so uncomfortable, so in pain, that I had to end up going to my bed anyway. Because I was like, yeah, this is not good. And I was thinking about that for some reason this morning, waking up. Uh, Me and Joe, when we cuddle, she likes getting really close to me, right? Literally, every single day, without fail, I am this far, this far away from my side of the bed, right? Where she keeps shimmying me all the way. And then I sometimes wake up like I'm going to fall off the bed, and then we like shimmy back, and then we start the whole process over again. But with that, right, I was like lifting my hip so that her leg can be close to mine, kind of thing. And I knew that I wasn't perfectly aligned, but I also knew that it was more comfortable for her that way, kind of thing. And then as I was laying there, I was thinking to myself, how long can I stay out of alignment? That was my question to myself. And the answer came to me from a perspective of uh, like a few minutes. I can stay out of alignment for maybe 10 minutes. And then I have to put myself back into alignment. I have to readjust my hips so that I can be comfortable and my spine can be straight, kind of thing. But then I thought about how that concept of putting yourself out of alignment for the comfort of others is not just something that aligns or arises in sleep, right? It arises in all aspects of our lives, and even down to the spiritual aspects of our life, where we might be contorting ourselves spiritually so that we can find ourselves acceptable. And it's uncomfortable. It's going to cause you pain eventually. And I'm asking the question of all of us, how long can we deal that? How long can we deal with that? How long can we stay out of alignment in these ways in our lives? And I'm not asking the question from a perspective of needing an answer, a definitive one at the very least, but it is something that's interesting to me. You just popped up on my For You page. Hello from Ethiopia. I'm also from Africa, friend. Thank you for joining us all the way from Ethiopia. We got Novit here again. We got Art Gallery. Hello to you, Tomokarm, joining us again. And if you have to get up to use the restroom and they are totally in your spot, I'll stand next to the bed and go like, can I have my spot back, please? Please. Sometimes she'll lay there looking at me like, why are you not getting in bed? And I'm like, I'm not getting in bed because my space is there. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya to you, dear friend. It's nice having you here. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace be upon you. I caught the Thailand. There we go. For me, if the sleep is messed up, I correct it by sleeping on the couch for days. Can't explain why it works though. Morning. Are you comfortable on your couch, Darren? I don't know. The last time that I slept on a couch, I was 19, going on 20. And then before that, I was like in my teens, where me and my friends would watch Supernatural until 6 a.m. in the mornings, and then we would pass out on the couch, and then we would sleep until 2 p.m., and then we would start again watching Supernatural until 6 a.m. in the morning. One of my favorite, actually, summer vacation moments. Bless Tomo. Hi, mate. Good morning. Just admit you had a wild night. Prairie wolf? No, not really too much. pretty chill night, actually. Yeah. We kind of like settled down, showed up in a lot of calm for ourselves. We shared a meal, and then we went to bed. Pedro said hi. Hi, Pedro. I'm glad you know yourself like that well. Cuz, bless you. Hoopty hoops. Thank you for being here with us as well. We got a friend from Slovakia. Thank you. Eva, it's nice having you here too, dear friend. I believe ultimately the organization of these religions and the intent behind such organization will always preclude peace between them. It's interesting you say that. You know, Prairie Wolf talks about having a wild night. Technically, me and Joe did like hemi-sync tapes last night. All right, so that was kind of wild. We were like doing meditations. We were resonance tuning ourselves. We were putting our hopes, our worries, our fears, our physical matter in an energy conversion box. Yes, I wish I was joking. That's real. That's what we did last night. And after we went through all of this, Zhao came to me with a bunch of questions. She, in her practice, was trying to enter her energy body, right? And when you enter your energy body, it basically enables you to like do projection and stuff like that, right? Astral projection. And she was trying to do that literally with the very first tape. And you're only supposed to start learning how to do that stuff around like tape 5 or tape 4 or something like that. And then I go, you shouldn't do that. Technically, it's dangerous. That's what I said to her, right? And then she kind of like didn't say much about that. And then later she asks me, what do you mean by technically it's dangerous? And then we talk about when you go into these meditations and you open yourself up to universal wisdom, you technically open yourself up to everything else. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't create an energy, a resonant energy bubble or field around yourself that protects your own sanctuary, your own personal space, things can mess with you, right? They, the lower dimensional entities, would like to catch a ride in a being such as yourself because you're pretty cool, if you believe it or not. And then it like takes us down this rabbit hole of some of the stuff that I've experienced. I have been around demonic possession, right? At least not in the same room, but it was at some sort of church thing. And there was basically like this, it was like the main church hall, and then there was like rooms next to the church. And I heard what I can only describe as demonic screeching coming from those rooms. And upon my child self being alarmed and asking the adults what's happening there, they were like, yeah, there's someone possessed by demons in there. The conversation extended into talking about how if you were a demon, the first place that you would go is to a church. Because in a church, there are people that are opening themselves up to being spiritually influenced, right? I personally don't believe that the character or the entity that we call Jesus wants your soul, right? But unfortunately, in Christianity as it is right now, you are expected to give your soul to Jesus, right? That he's supposed to be the one that stands up for you in the judgment hall and takes on your sins onto himself, like sets you free. However, we don't know. We don't know anything for that matter. And if you were a demon, that's the kind of person whose soul you would want to mess with because they're already in that open state to give away their autonomy in that way. So in that way, that was the heavy conversation. Then it kind of like led us to my thinking. I have this image in my mind of body aligned with highest self, and highest self eventually ascending into what we can call the Godhead, right? The all that is. And it is this like stacking on top of itself. And I was like, I wanted to show Zhao that imagery. Because in this conversation, she was like, okay, so if we're not supposed to give our soul to something else, uh, like what then? She asked me. And then the words that I use is highest self. And she was like, almost like, oh my goodness, that's what I was thinking, kind of thing, right? And then in that highest self conversation, this imagery came clear to my mind. And I wanted to find it to show her the way that I envision, that kind of like system works. And again, I don't know either. All of this is speculation. And in trying to find this imagery, I couldn't for the life of me find this imagery. But I did end up finding Alex Gray's work again. We spent like 10, 20 minutes looking at Alex Gray art, and then we went to sleep. So that was what my night was like, Prairie Wolf. Very much in alignment with the good that we're trying to bring into this world. But it is tumultuous, right? There are many different ways to get to where it is we're going. I'm new here. Tell about yourself. Art gallery, you're gonna have to stick around for a long time to hear all about me. I don't really always talk about myself, but I'm happy that you were here right now. You got to hear at least how I engage my mind, how me and my wife will show up for meditations together. We do yoga. I do these live streams as a process of conscious evolution. It's nice having you here with us, Art Gallery. Welcome. Darren goes, it's very uncomfortable. Sounds like a wild night. It was a wild night, yeah. It's because it's difficult to sleep in a spot where you lay awake for long periods of time. How about that? Yeah. Your bedroom is supposed to be associated with the restful state, right? If you spend time in your bedroom like scrolling TikToks, then your body can associate, oh yeah, this is a place where I scroll TikToks, right? And then when you want to go to sleep, suddenly it's like, what are we doing? I thought this is TikTok scrolling place or whatever. All right, don't do that to yourself. Sam, are you instigating it though? We got BSF joining us saying good morning. Hi BSF. I'm usually instigating something. What specifically are you referring to at this moment? Your soul, but unfortunately you lose it. My mom's soul is squeaky clean since I got it back from what I used to call Satan. My moon's soul. I am the sun and their heir. I tried to find how the world works. That's why belief is like a human right, because we don't know. Yeah, it's true what you say, hoopty hoops. We cannot know. And what we know will only be in part. We will know only in part. Right? Even if you are the most smart, most in tune, most aware person on planet Earth, even you will know only part of the whole. And I think there's something beautiful about it. To me, it means that we need everyone. We need the people that are not aware as well, because they also see an aspect of reality that creates more fullness for all of us if we include, or if we consider that perspective being included as a part of the whole of consciousness. It is interesting to imagine what we will become, how we will come back into alignment as a species, what that alignment will look like. What do you think alignment is supposed to look like? Do you believe it's possible for you to be perfectly aligned with your highest self? When you think the words highest self, what does that mean to you? Is it something that you were scared of? Do you remember me? Susan, I think I do. Think you've been here at most 2 times before? If I click on your name. Yeah. You were talking about my plants low-key dying, right? Look at them now. Me and Joe recently revitalized them. We cut off all of the dead growth, or dead not growth. Yeah, yeah. Look at them. Look at them. They look happy. I even got a little dinosaur up there that I got for my birthday. Isn't that cute? They look much better. Yeah, they've been taken good care of. I'm happy that you're back again, Susan. How are you doing, friend? How's life treating you? Prairie Wolf. It's cool to see that you changed your name back, friend. I have been calling you Prairie Wolf, and now it's not confusing. Know the difference between a want and a need. Find me on the other side. Even if I find you on the other side, we'll still be here, Hoopy. We will know only in our hearts where this life is taking us. The stated destination is already there within you. It's true. It's like I was saying yesterday, my mom fully believes that I need spiritual help because she has been made unable to see the larger truth. It's just not meant for her. My dad is the same way, dear Sam. Right? I've been using terminology that my dad can relate to, and that I can feel brings him comfort. Right? When I talk to my dad about my life, I talk about the blessings, die seëninge van die Here. Die Here seën my. God blesses me. Right? Instead of making it a personal thing, I give honor to that which in his mind he believes needs to be given honor to. And when I use those words, the image that it creates in my mind isn't a giving of power away, but giving honor to that which I know is my truth, right? It's like this double speak, essentially. I'm saying one thing, but I'm holding clear in my mind, another. And I'm saying these words because the things that he holds in his mind is like calloused. No, let's say crystallized. Better, right? Crystallized. He has come to the conclusions, and his default mode network is very well established. So activating his default mode network is very predictable, and I think that's what we need to do for our families, Sam. Is we just have to push the buttons that they want pushed in their brain, right? Be like very sophisticated in your words. Be very be very smart about what it is you let them think, right? Because that is what it's about at the end of the day. They think that what we're doing is wrong because it's not what they have come to the conclusion needs to be done. And especially if you think about the consequences that they have told themselves comes from not being aligned in the right way, they have no proof that there will be these consequences. But they have come to believe, right? Believing that there will be consequences in this way have shaped their minds and steers them in a certain direction. Doesn't mean they're wrong, but it also doesn't mean we're right. Doesn't mean we're wrong, but it doesn't mean that they're right either. It's simply an experience, right? Like thinking about it from a perspective of a TV show, right? Every single person gravitates towards different types of media. I've been watching Invincible as of late, the fourth season of Invincible. Joe, like when I told her, I was like, yeah, Invincible is one of those shows that don't pull their punches, right? I just saw the season 4 scene where Invincible, and this is like mild spoilers, fights Conquest. And I won't spoil completely, but it's rough. It's pretty rough. Like I literally was like getting heated. Like my body was going into sweating. Like my amygdala got activated watching that scene. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, oh my god. Right. And then she comes back home and I like tell her that I've been watching it. And she goes, yeah, I can go without having to watch any of that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it checks out. Right. And in that way, I'm getting to have an experience that is valuable to me. It makes me feel things. It makes me consider the morality of our choices. Right. It makes me want to become stronger. I don't know if I'll ever be able to fly, but I can become a hero of my own. Right. I can save myself kind of thing. And I really do enjoy the experience that I have in watching that show. But it's not for show. It's not something that she would find herself gravitating towards. She didn't even know the name of the show. Like, upon showing her the animation style, she didn't even recognize any of it. However, I have been watching it since the first episodes came out. And on top of watching it, my algorithm is so tuned that I'm seeing like the community consensus on these as well. And then when the algorithms show me this, because I'm engaged with that fractal, I confirmation bias myself in watching what people are saying about it, right? And as a result, I'm getting to have a unique experience, a unique show of life that is my own, right? Doesn't mean that mine is any more valuable than anyone else's. Just means that I'm getting to have an experience that is uniquely my own, right? And so does she, and so does all of us, including our parents, having their little show unfold for them too, right? They need to watch the show that they're watching to learn the lessons that they need to learn. Oh, same. Dead Growth was my nickname in high school. Hey, Combat Journey. Nice having you. Full alignment is death. By that point, you've already filled your life's purpose. Hey, John. It's nice having you here, too. That's an interesting conclusion that you have come to. Full alignment is death. I'm absorbing and asking myself if I agree. I don't know if I do. I think I'm already dead in that way, right? That might be a concerning thing to hear. I did this meditation where I stared into myself for, I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes, right? Where I sat in front of a mirror and just stared at myself. And I came to the conclusion during that meditation that what I'm looking at, all right, behind all of this is already dead, all right? That the finality of experience exists within me as well. However, upon coming to that conclusion, it didn't make me feel any less willing to live, right? And even though I was very aligned in my understanding that I am both living as this flesh and also dead as the lack of experience that exists. Like, think about like your consciousness being this absorbing force, right? The same way that death absorbs everything that lives, right? I am that. I am that which is the taking away, right? But I am also that which is the giving. And the way that I've seen it is that I'm supposed to be aligned with that giving side of myself, right? I won't be making this world a better place by accelerating the death of it. I can destroy, and I will, right? That is my purpose too, to destroy. But we destroy in order to recreate. We don't destroy in order to eviscerate. Anyway, so what's going on this morning, buddy? What's the topic? Today's topic is about being in alignment. However, I'm positing the question of how long can you stay out of alignment? I personally start feeling very uncomfortable, in pain even, if I find myself out of alignment. And I am curious. I am curious to see how choosing to be more aligned will affect my life. I just saw something strange. Part of my reality just flickered. And I'm looking at the part that flickered and I'm like, there's nothing that's supposed to flicker. And the outside is very soft lighted. Alignment? Does your parents ever tune into your life? I highly doubt it, Prairie Wolf. Or at least if they do, they don't tell me. All right. It is one of those things that I was like really sad about at one point in my life, where I'm like, imagine like a parent, right? Some parents will like track their kids. They'll have like tracking apps on their phones so that they can know exactly where their kids are at all points of time. If they leave the house, they can check in on them, right? Like some parents are like that. Me, as a child, does these live streams where I literally open bar, where I bare my soul, right, to the camera and tell the camera where it is I am emotionally, where it is I am physically, where it is I am, as an experiencer in this moment. And they still don't care. They don't choose to engage with that content necessarily. And it was something that I had like a stick up my ass about. But at this point, I realize again, it's not their experience, right? They don't need to have my experience. They are having their own. Does your parents ever tune? Yeah. Ever ever seen WWE? Who's your favorite WWE wrestler? John Cena, unironically, or Randy Orton. Because I like RKO. Just a random YouTube viewer going through active live channels and showing some love. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you, James Brunette. That's super nice of you, friend. Go and share that good energy, bro. Appreciate you taking a moment to share some good ones with me, too. Yeah, that's a hell of a show, man. It's a lot like The Boys. I even said that to Joe. I'm like, you've heard of The Boys, right? She's like, yeah, I've heard of The Boys. I'm like, yeah, The Boys kind of, in a way, like laid the groundwork for Invincible to arise, right? Because The Boys kind of communicated as a signal to the executives that people are ready to see more real shit, to say it in a derogatory term, instead of like the superheroes just punching each other, right? Oh, I'm gonna just punch this bad guy. I'm not gonna kill him because I'm a good guy, and good guys don't kill bad guys. In Invincible and in The Boys, you kill the bad guys because otherwise they continue being bad guys, kind of thing. Have you been watching the new season and final season out now? Have you been watching the new season? And the final season is out now of Invincible. I think I stopped watching The Boys. I'm pretty sure I did watch I watched the season where Huey got like super traumatized, but like it got too much for me, right? And I have to be very almost like guarded in watching The Boys. The Boys is a bit too much. I think Invincible is better when it comes to that. They kind of like there's a lot of gore, but at least it's not deplorable. Right, less deplorable stuff. The bad guys do bad things, like kill people, not the rest. Combat, I'll probably watch the last installment later this year. I only watched the first two. Hey Aisha, thank you for joining us. I don't know, I never thought about it as death. I think full alignment is ascent. It's going to the next level. You see, Tomo, I agree with you in that, right? And in that, I see like a kind of continuation, right? Where dying or the death state is kind of like the imagining of what you were before you were born, right? Where it's this transitory or illusionary, inaccessible kind of space, right? I have gone into like float tank meditations, and in that space, you find yourself completely dissociated with your reality, where you're still conscious, but there's nothing. There's no sound, there's no smell, there's no problems, there's no perception for you to be worried about or experience. And in that, it's very peaceful, right? But thinking about ascension, thinking about what comes next, I don't see that as what comes next. I see that as what is always, and everything else arises from it, right? It's like dead stuff begets living stuff. Namaskaramashu. Death is stronger than my brawny. I don't think so. Yeah. But then what measure do we use to confirm we are fully aligned? Discomfort, I think, actually, John. I think there comes a great deal of discomfort, anxiety, panic, stress, fear when you are unaligned. And when you find yourself more in alignment, a certain peace begets. All right, you're finding yourself less stressed because you are aligned. You're walking the path, right? Think about it like if we're gonna go somewhere, right? And you know exactly the path. You've walked the path many times, right? Where if you're walking the path the first time, you might be like, oh, I don't want to take the wrong road because maybe I won't end up where all of my friends are, kind of thing. So that's kind of what it is for me. It's that knowing. It's that knowing that you are on the right path and you are taking steps forward towards that ideal. Tomo, maybe we have always been at that next level and just refuse to interact with it. That's what I believe, Darren. Time is not linear, kind of thing. Melt, you changing your name to absorb more? Yes, technically. But also to remind myself to be less attached to myself, right? Melt more is a reminder that this thing I call my ego needs to melt actively all the time, that I don't know everything, and that's okay. I can still learn more. Hello from Australia. Hello, Patrick. Must be late there, dear friend. Thank you for joining us. Close to midnight, right? Louisiana, checking in. Love to you, hoops. Signaling the producers that viewers were ready to see real shit. It better be. The last time we got something real, people got hung up about somebody's big blue willy on the silver screen. What? You're gonna have to give me more context than that, Sam. Like, you got me with the first bit, but the second bit, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, The Boys is a comic, but they made it into a show. The people who made the comic actually hated the way the superhero comics have to come. Everyone's great. Yeah, everyone's great, nice, and perfect. Exactly. That's just not how the real world works, right? The superheroes are people too, kind of thing. What does Prince Harry have to do with this? I don't think we talked about Prince Harry. John? Maybe somebody else said something in chat. So they made the boys kind of like have fun at how ridiculous of the comics and to show how real humans would act if they had these types of powers. Exactly. I want to try that so bad. I have a place here where we can do it, but I have never been. You're talking about the hemisync meditations? It's just about starting, friend. Take some time. Or maybe you're talking about the sensory deprivation tanks. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Sensory deprivation tanks are the closest you'll get to the womb experience. It's true. That, and you can do sweat lodges as well. It also has a little bit of a womb experience. Again, pitch black darkness. The sweat lodge that I've been to, pitch black darkness, and then 3 hours in 180 Fahrenheit heat. Or, yeah. Very, very womb. Yeah, I got reborn. You also have to like crawl out. You're not allowed to like walk into the chamber. It's like super low to the ground, so you have to like crawl to get in and out. Very womb-like, but it's true what you're saying, Prairie Wolf. Going to a sensory deprivation tank has you like a baby floating in the void of space, right? Hey, stop licking the couch. Dear Guru, initiate us. You calling me a guru? Hoopty hoops. I don't know if I am ready for a title like that. All right, I still have a lot to learn before I can consider myself a spiritual leader. I am at this point just a spiritual kid, a spiritual playing on the spiritual playground. And I invite you to play with me. Nice conversation. Thank you, Art, for joining me in this conversation, friend. I walked a path once where I was in a blizzard. I kept walking the same path and couldn't get out because the snow covered my tracks. It's pretty deep. What do your parents do for work? My mom studied to be a beautician, and she, for a while, owned like a little salon where she did people's hair and waxed them and stuff, colored their hair. And my dad is a mining engineer. He builds gold mines, of all things. Yeah, that's what they do. They're talking about Watchmen. Ah, Watchmen. Yeah, Watchmen was the first one. Was the first like movie, that actually kind of like showed the real side of humans as heroes. My pug died yesterday. Razian, Rezian. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. What was your pug's name? More context, Sam. Oh, the Watchmen. Thank you again. Yes. The Watchmen was gritty as fuck, but folks got all worked up about Dr. Manhattan's peeper and didn't absorb the larger message. That part I didn't like register at all. Right. Like that's why I didn't catch what you were saying. I really enjoyed Watchmen actually, but I think I watched it as a 14-year-old for the first time. I think that also, messed with me a bit. Love your outfit. Thank you. Appreciate that. We got Gavity Goo, gay like Scoop, Skloom Flarm, Sklim Sklamoris. Sklarmos to you. Dear Gavity Goo, Sklam Sklarm name Sklam Sklam. My bug died from heat stroke. Jeez. What was your pug's name? Rezian, hope you find peace with this challenge. I lost a cat last year that I had for around 20 years. I've been learning all kinds of little things, thinking of the memories. Thank you, Gabby Goo. It's nice having you here, bro. How are you doing, Gabs? How has alignment been feeling to you? I feel like, we've been talking about how long, today's stream topic is how long can you stay out of alignment? And to use Gab, and I do like this. I like honoring Gab because I feel like I admire you a lot, Gabs. Gabs was in a space where he didn't feel very valued by his workplace, right? And then he aligned with like better skills and he found a job. He invited two beautiful entities into his life, and he's been aligning his life in a way that is more comfortable, right? Today's stream topic is about kind of the way that we lay down for sleep. And if you're laying down like this for sleep, right, you can only like stay like this for that long until it becomes painful. And you have to align yourself. Sometimes in our lives, and it's not just sleep, of course, sometimes in our life we'll stay in a contorted position because we think it's more comfortable. Or maybe it's more comfortable to those around us, those that might impress upon us that you're supposed to be contorted like this, because when I move, I don't want to be hitting your head with my elbow. So you better have your head kinked so that I don't hit your face, And then alignment would be stepping away from that space, kind of thing. Rough example, but you know what I mean. I have really strong coffee this morning, Gabs. I shared with our community that we don't have a lot of beans left, and then I scooped the beans into the crusher, and then I like looked at the bag and I was like, I don't think there's enough beans here for tomorrow's coffee. And then I poured it into my measuring cup, and I'm like, yeah, this is like at most one extra cup. And then I put all of the beans together, and I made like a super strong cup of coffee. I also took my methylene blue, I had my creatine, and my vitamins are coursing through my veins as we speak. And I will be dancing momentarily, very soon. Extra dose of beans. Yes. Yes. I haven't actually had any beans in a while. Beans make me extremely farty. There was a moment where Joe cooked us some like type of chili, and the beans were still almost like tough to chew. Like you had to chew through the beans. They weren't just like melt in your mouth kind of beans. And oh my goodness, like I felt like I could like power, the next SpaceX rocket. Extra dose. Your belly button is trying to escape. No, don't say it. Say it's not so. Yeah, this shirt lost the button. I need to remend this little part. Yeah, now you guys can see that I have belly button too. Don't you look at my belly button. Don't you dare. Norbert, thank you for letting me know though. Appreciate it. I made even stronger dog cookies. Was like, yeah, That other adult cookie was only so strong. I love how, like, the last time I heard a Gob story about his cookies, he was telling us about almost like having to fight to keep himself from astral projecting out of his body and passing out in front of a crowd. And he's like, "Yeah, you know what? You know what I need? That's stronger. Like, I still manage to hold on," he says. Next time. Next time there won't even be a choice. Nice shirt. Thank you, Zach Hunter. Thank you for joining us too, dear friend. I saw that too. Tell me about your adult cookies. Damn, you're saying you've done methylene blue? Is that Walter White shit? Combat journey. No. I mean, I think I'd be flying off the walls if it was like that, instead of just being super calm, having conversations, my oxygen systems performing optimally. I used too much butter and added more flour, which kind of fucked them up, Sam, but they get the job done. I'll tell you what. Oh, yeah, those are the same. They are strong. Oh, yeah, that moment when you have to hold on to life to remain aligned. You can't use too much butter. My dad has this. Does methylene blue work? I think so, Tom McCarn. I think so. Right? It's one of those things where my body is processing it correctly. Right? I'm at least not peeing blood. There's like a percentage of people that do that do pee blood when they start taking it. But essentially, it has a bunch of free electrons that it gives, right? As it dissipates or is distributed through your bodies and your cells, it essentially gives your mitochondria extra oxygen, right? By destroying also free radicals. It's an antioxidant, technically. So in that way, the effects, I think, are subtle. The first weeks that I took it, it created this experience in me that felt like increased serotonin, right? Where if you know what pre-flight anxiety feels like when you're about to wrestle a lion or maybe fight a pack of monkeys, you know, it creates this, oh, here it comes, it's coming. And for me, it was like that when I started taking the methylene blue, where I'm like, it's coming, something is happening. But now at this point, I haven't taken any. I haven't taken any this week. And since I'm going to be dancing today, I took some today. And I'm not getting that experience anymore. So maybe my body has adjusted. Is it expensive? I think it was 20 bucks. 20 bucks for a bottle. So not unaffordable. But it is important for you to make sure you do get stuff that's tested, right? Because it could be not, could have heavy metals in it. Let me see what I missed. Adult cake, like hash brownie, pretty much, Jack. I use a half cup of brown butter and a quarter cup of cream cheese. Soft AF every time. Cream cheese in cookies or brownies? I've never heard someone do that, but that sounds like a vibe, actually, Sam. I remain aligned, Melt. I did it for love. Aw, I thought it. I thought it coats the nervous system. Coating is also relative, right? Like, I can read to you, friends, exactly what it means. The way I understand it is that your body processes oxygen, right? And it does so through electron chains. You have this thing, this energy system in your body called adenosine triphosphate. That's also why I take creatine, right? And adenosine triphosphate is the real energy system of your body. However, in order for that adenosine triphosphate to be useful, your mitochondria needs oxygen in order to basically convert that energy system. And then if you take methylene blue, it donates free electrons off of itself, right? The molecule has an extra electron, and then it gives that electron to your mitochondria, and then it processes the oxygen that is in that cell more efficiently. Hey Google, Can you tell us how exactly methylene blue works in your cells? It goes, methylene blue primarily optimizes cellular energy by acting as an alternative electron carrier in the mitochondrial electron transport chain. It bypasses broken parts of the chain to keep energy production moving. It enhances ATP production. It shuttles electrons directly from NADH to cytochrome C, skipping the complexes 1 to 3. This increases adenosine triphosphate synthesis, giving your cells a direct energy boost. It acts as a powerful antioxidant by cycling between its oxidized form and its reduced form, leucomethylene blue. It neutralizes harmful reactive oxygen species inside the mitochondria, reducing your cellular stress. And then, because of that, it improves oxygen consumption. It increases the activity of cytochrome C oxidase, helping your cells use oxygen more efficiently. In short, it acts like a backup battery and an antioxidant shield for your mitochondria. So I think I kind of understand, right? Like you can determine for yourself, like, yeah, did I communicate accurately what I think it does? Mm-mm-mm. Let me just switch it up quickly. Almost heard myself talk. All right. There we go. You're damn right it works. You saw the show. The beer stuff around. Melt's about to go Breaking Bad on your ass. Please, Melt. I'd love it if you said something. Peace be upon you, Hoopy. May you find so much to be grateful for. And today, that you're flabbergasted, like, oh my goodness, how much better can it get? Boom. Have something said at you, hoopty hoops. I love not waking up in the hospital because I passed out from astral projecting in a crowd and concerned bystanders came to the aid of my fallen incapacitated body. I love not having that happen too. I think we're safe, combat. Mel doesn't have Bryan Cranston's comfort level in tighty whities. Yeah, yeah. Not exactly, Sam. Friends should act things. Friends should act out things that live. Sounds yum. It's not. It tastes really bad. That's also the other side of it, Tomo. It is a chemical, technically. It's. I've been struggling with stress this day. I'm sorry, friend. Maybe you can let me know what your pug's name is. I'm gonna keep asking because that's the only way that I can honor your little animal. That doesn't sound safe long term, forcing your body to skip several steps of the cellular process. You are supposed to cycle off, John, right? So I haven't taken it in 5 days. Last time I took it was, I think, Thursday, either Thursday or Friday, right? And since I'm going to be dancing today, I'm like, I could use extra oxygen in my cells. I'm going to be pushing myself a little bit. Dope scarf for me. Thank you, Chillwoods. Appreciate the compliment. I like this scarf too. It is one of my favorites. It's very elastic. It feels good. You can dance. You said you can. I can dance. I mean, I've been dancing for a long time without methylene blue, without creatine too. However, surprise, surprise, these things work. They help. They help your body produce energy more efficiently. Good morning, Bish and Trish, bruh. Good afternoon to you, dear friend. Welcome. It's nice having you here with us. Have you been here before? I think it's the first time that I'm seeing your username with us, Bish and Trish. Let me check. Now, you've been here before. You said your brother-in-law is a farmer and you won an award for being outstanding in this field. You got me again, bro. You got me in hindsight. Welcome back. It's nice to have you here, friend. Raisin, thanks. She was a saint. Getting those memories that pop in has taught me a lot that I didn't take the time to understand in the moment. To you, I say you don't need to distance yourself by inventing limiting ideas about honoring. Again, right, saying the name of a creature that has fallen, I feel is a kind of honoring, at least in my mind. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. It's funny that you say that, Gabs. We talked about that yesterday. Me and Joe watched the safety dance video we did due to your friends. I don't know if you have ever seen Don't Mess with the Zoan. I love. I've unironically watched Don't Mess with the Zoan again. And I think I watched it like 5 months ago, right? Kind of recently. But that's from the movie. They say that when he dances, they call dancing disco. Yeah, let's go disco. Let's go disco. Oh, disco, disco. Good, good. You are not alone, Darren. God is with you always. True. Try cordyceps if you want more oxygen. Fully natural. Cordyceps are more expensive, John. It's hard growing cordyceps, but I would love to. Cordyceps, reishi, lion's mane, chaga. What's the other one? Mm, turkey tail. I would love to take a full stack. Maybe now that I'm in America, I can take those Paul Stamets supplements. The big problem with South Africa was the fact that I couldn't find any fruiting bodies. I could only find myceliated grain, and I don't want to take myceliated grain. I'm like, bruh, give me the fruiting bodies, please. So yeah, maybe I will, John. It's just a matter of like acquisition. I am kind of spent out. I need to wait until end of month to like get my yoga cash in before I can start looking at getting more stuff again. Let me see. Paul Stamets. No, 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 no. Host Defense. Yeah, Host Defense is his website's name. Here we go. Stamets 7 capsules. Oh. 60 capsules, and I'm supposed to take 2 a day. Let's see. Directions, 2 a day. Yeah, it's gonna be $40 a month, dude. That's a lot of dollars. That's a lot of dollars a month. That's like, at this point, 40% of my income. But Stamets 7, I'll get. It doesn't tell me what's in it. Come on, do it. Tell me what's in it. Maybe I have to check the back of it. There we go. Yeah, it's got Royal Sun Blazy. I don't actually know that one. Cordyceps, there it is. Reishi, there it is. Maitake, that's one I missed as well. Lion's Mane, Chaga, and Mazima. Yeah, 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 yeah. Could be good. And is it an effective dose? 143 milligrams of each. Yeah. Oh, it does have reishi in it. Those are all of the mushrooms in this little stack. So I am aware. I am aware. Whoa, there it is. There they are. Lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, chaga, maitake, royal sun, and mezima. Lion's mane boosts brain-derived neurotropic factor, supports your brain health and your memory. Reishi supports your cardiovascular systems and your health. Cordyceps supports energy and stamina. Chaga supports balanced immune support and response. Maitake promotes metabolic wellness and a healthy glycemic balance. Royal Sun supports an engaged and balanced immune response. And my SEMA is also immune response. I think I am pretty rock solid on my immune system, but I might. Ba ba ba. Hey Zoe, hello Zoe. Thank you for the 2 cent donation. Imagination donation, as I like to say. Hey! Hello! You want out? You want out? Come on. Oh, you ate all your vegetables? You ate every little bit of your vegetables? What a good girl. Yeah. Eating your veggies? Eating your veggies up? What a good girl you are, Zoe Birders. Are you a good girl? Say hi to our friend. Hello. You say hello. You want to say hi?
Hello.
Hello, Zoe. I love you. Give me a kiss. Oh, that's a good girl. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi. That's cute. That's so cute. What a good girl. You want some cookies?
Want a cookie?
You want a cookie? Let's take you and get a cookie, okay? What? You don't like me doing that stuff? You're like, what's that? I wanna. Let's go get you a cookie, okay? There's a noodle in the foreground too. Come on.
Hello.
Hello, Zoe. I love you. Aw, what a sweetie bird. You're such a sweetie bird. You're such a good girl.
Want a cookie?
I'm gonna get you one of these.
Want a cookie?
I'm gonna get you some cookies. Be patient. Be patient. If you be patient, I'm gonna give you all these cookies, okay? Let's go get a paper towel.
Want a cookie?
I'm gonna give you them. Promise. This is all you. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, wow. Yeah.
Want a cookie?
This I'm gonna give you cookies if you're a good girl. Pop. Oh, Prairie Wolf sends you love, Zoe Bird. Prairie Wolf sent you love. Step up. Good girl. That's a sweetie bird. Be patient. You be patient. I'm gonna give this to you in a second, okay? You just be calm. Yeah, be calm. Look at that. Ooh. Look at all those cookies that I put in there. You see them? He's like, come on, give it to me. Give it to me already. Come on. Why do I have to wait? Why do I have to wait like that? I'm gonna get all fluffy about it. Okay. All right. Do a spin. Spin, spin, spin. Wow. Good girl. And do you want to give me a kiss? Mwah. Good girl, Zoe. And give me a high five. Wow. And then give me a foot. There you go. Step up. There we go. Say bye-bye. Oh. Say bye-bye. Bye. There you go. One out. Let's give you this cookie. You hear those? Ooh, there's something in there. There's something in there. Good girl. There you go, Zoe. Enjoy your cookies. Enjoy. Alrighty. Oh, I'm back again. Bye-bye. That's cute. Give Doggy a little treat too. He gets treats when he poops and pees, which is like 4 to 5 times a day. Prairie Wolf. He's definitely not undertreated. Like sometimes, because of his incessant need to go out a lot, he gets too many treats. That's what this is all on. It's with you, Tricordyceps. The universe is still expanding. That it is. Howdy, all you crazy cool kids. From 2,700 feet in the air, on the move again. This flight was too early. Well, Angry Otter is literally tuning in from the sky right now. That's pretty cool, Angry. Thank you for joining us. Sending you love on your flight. Hope it's a good one. Hope that you find your space in the time that you expected it to be. I go my own way. Life is too short to be worrying about someone's default cognitive toes. Yes, I almost turned into milk. Not gonna be. I'm white. but I'm not white. Yeah, what? What? A real man can disco and cook fish. Exactly. That's what a real man is. I have more to say. I came, I saw, I listened about how many ways doubt, fear, and loneliness play up. Sorta, gotta infer it through, you know. I hope that you infer only the good hoopty hoops. I thank you, friends, for joining me. I'm almost through my coffee. I think it's time for me to pull a card. Now for your regularly scheduled card pulling. And then we're going to go dance. Oh yeah. We're going to go dance with a lot of caffeine coursing through our veins today. I wonder if it will push my heart rate up higher. Would be curious to see. It is now time for me to read to you friends a card. The kalimba, Darren. I love that you love the kalimba as much as I do, friend. Zhao has been playing it a lot more as well. She's getting better at it, growing more intuitive. Sorta gets infer English. Don't ask Whoopi to speak proper English. Pause power. Pause power. Did I say it correctly or is it pause 4? Absolutely not. Whoopi does speak English, but there's a lot of complexity behind the words that he uses as well. All right, you can only say so much with the English language.
Somebody tell me to stop. Oh snap, he has the cards.
Oh yeah. We're gonna end this stream and then I'm gonna start another one for the dancing one. Are we already at the end? We're at the end of this stream, Lone Buffalo. I was actually looking for you. We're gonna do a dancing stream soon. But since they copyright claim my dancing streams, I've been ending these streams so that I get to keep my content. Never been good with words and music. Always been an instrument kind of guy. That's cute. Have you practiced? Have I practiced playing the kalimba? Every time I play, I practice. But I don't have any training, if that's what you're asking. Stop. There you go, Prairie Wolf. Whoa. Again? Again, the fruit of life. I did pull it upside down, though. The safety dance. I knew you were going to say something. I did go and watch the video. And that's what I'll say to you, Lone Buffalo here. Get safety danced, bro. Everybody look at your hands. You lack for nothing. Yet you feel a sense of scarcity. Adjust your attitude and welcome the manifestation of abundance. I honestly didn't remember. I just randomly scrolled here. That's hilarious. All right. Upside down meaning. Upside down meaning. You will lack for nothing, yet you feel a sense of scarcity. Adjust your attitude and allow the manifestation of abundance. Somebody else tell me to stop. I pulled that card like literally yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Stop. There it is. Thank you, John. Right side up. This card again. Receiving. I should get better at receiving, John. That's like my biggest thing. Oh, like I have a really hard time asking for help and receiving the help that I don't ask for. I look forward to being able to do more things in this world. But I need to be willing to receive help if I'm going to have the capabilities to receiving. Howdy, y'all. Hey, Nancy. Welcome, Sandra. It's nice having you here with us, friend. Plant down just knocks over one of my spider plants. Oh, you just knocked down one of my spider plants. Third card. We have been pulling this card a lot as well, but I think I need to. You know what? John is like, so one is receiving, one is realizing you are the fruit of life. Let me get it quickly. Man, I hid that card from myself in this deck, it seems. There it is. All right, I'll pull a third card too. Looks like the girl from Thor's Ragnarok, the villain. Can't remember her name either. Yeah, his sister, right? With the big old black crown. We'll pull a third. One last stop. Stop from Nancy. Elemental Embrace. Yeah, that's wild to me. Because when we pulled this card, we pulled this card afterwards because the friend Shantae lost her grandpa Chris. And we talked about the Elemental Embrace. Why are these cards coming back so clearly today? Receiving, flanked by the Fruit of Life, to talk about the Elemental Embrace. This is the synergy of these two cards together, embracing the fact that I am a part of the elements. All right? Excuse me. There they are together. Bop, bop, bop. Fruit of Life, receiving an Elemental Embrace. We literally pulled these cards yesterday or day before yesterday. Yeah, yesterday we pulled the Gratitude card. This was day before yesterday. We pulled both of these together. And the fact that we pulled both of them together again feels like a good reminder. I am going to read the receiving card today, though. This is the card that we've not pulled in the longest time. Cute. No you, Banshee. This is the final card in the Sacred Geometry cards for the Visionary Path. Embedded in the background of this image is a stunning geometry that appeared as a crop formation in 2003. The figure is charged with readiness and receptivity. Her outstretched arms and open hand chakras are an expression of trust, openness, and infinite potential. She is a lightning rod and receptor of universal information and infinite wisdom. DNA spirals appear as pillars or antennae in support of her readiness. This card celebrates the transformation that is taking place in our experience of reality and our willingness to shift from the paradigm of separation and into one, and into the certainty of our connectedness with all that is. Wasn't the first one reversed? The first one was reversed. Uh, the reversed meaning of card 52 is circumstances have led to feelings of separation. Reconnect with your friends. This card celebrates the transformation that is taking place in our experience of reality and our willingness to shift from the separation of duality consciousness to the certainty of our connectedness with all that is. Sacred geometry is just one way that information and energy are entering consciousness at this time. You are gaining a greater appreciation for and are participating in the evolution of consciousness. As you continue your visionary path, allow your awareness and understanding of sacred geometry to nurture this evolution. Let this card be a signpost of your willingness to become a beacon of hope and a guiding light for those still caught in the old paradigm of separation. Remain receptive to the messages you are receiving and give thanks to your conscious participation. The reverse meaning of this card as well goes, you might be reluctant to accept your role in the evolution of consciousness. Ask for guidance and assurance so that you may more fully participate in this important time in our human story. Wowza. Yeah. How about that? My coffee is almost done. I'm going to end this stream. Subscribe if you're not. Hit us up with a like. I'm going to be back in like 10-ish minutes. I'm going to be setting up my yoga mats on the ground, get my speaker connected, and then I'll dance. I'll dance like I'm celebrating the universe. I'll dance like I'm happy to be alive. I'll dance like I am destroying reality in order to recreate it once again. I look forward to you friends joining me for that too. I appreciate you joining me for this. It is such a pleasure getting to share this space with you. I hope that you're well. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you again in a moment, okay? Goodbye. Love to you, dear friends. Cheers. Namaste. Namaste to you too, dear friend.